Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel Kavi App Designs. Now today we'll continue with our part 5 of the React Native course where we're going to learn about animations. So now let's learn how to animate stuff. So for that we're going to use react-native-reanimated. So I advise you to go check out the documentation. So now without further ado, let me show you the demo of our app that we're going to learn and look at it. That we're going to learn all about. So now this app is focused on animations and theme. So over here we have this loading spinner over here. So it has a circle, then an inner spinner, then the middle spinner, then the outer spinner. So if you look over here, the inner spinner is rotating clockwise, the middle spinner is rotating anti-clockwise, and the outer spinner is rotating clockwise. So now this just really creates a really cool effect. Alright, so then over here we have this button over here. This is a basic navigation button. So now what it does is show our buttons. So these buttons are all animated. So this default button has a scale effect. So now if you look over here, there's a small scale effect. Then this button has a bounce effect which just goes up. So we translate Y to like 10. Then we have the shine button, and the shine goes fast. But if you look over here, we have the shine button. And also for this button over here, we have the shine. Then over here, we're also going to learn about code transitions like this. So now if you look over here, the page slides in, and the other page, the loading screen, slides out. And if we do it again, now the loading screen slides in and the button screen slides out. So now over here, we have themes also. So if you look over here, we have this toggle button. So now it's set to light mode. Let's turn off the lights. So now it's set to dark mode. Now we can change it again, and it's set to light mode, and we change it again, it's set to dark mode. I can go to buttons, and over here we have a button. Alright, so folks, now let's get right into this code. Alright, so now here is our code. If you look over here, we have the source directory. In there we have a folder called components. So now over here we have animation.js, theme.js, theme toggle, and transitions. So now let's learn about the theme. So let's go in theme toggle. So now over here we have some imports. Then over here we have this use theme hook from the theme library that we are using, where we get colors, toggle theme, and switch position. So now on press over here we're saying toggle theme. We have this view over here. Then we have this animator view which acts like a button, where this over here which acts like a button. So this button is actually a toggle button, so which we can toggle it. So that's what is happening over here. Then over here we have some styles. So this is the style for the thumb, which is the shine. So over here we have the track style, the thumb style, and the shadow radius, and elevation. So now here we're going to use that over here where we style it. So we're going to use the style thumb for our button. Then also thumb style over here is our component, and what that does is create over here a transition over here. What that is basically our shine that we are just translating. So we're saying translate x switch dot position dot value, and over here we are also getting switch position from use theme. Alright, so now let's go to the theme.js, which is using a context hook. So that's why we say use context, and also we also got create context. So first we create our context. Then over here we have our colors over here. So what this does is basically change our colors, such as background, text, primary, secondary, accent, card, border, switch, track, and switch thumb. Alright, so now we're only gonna use these styles over here, and not anything else that is related to light mode and dark mode. We may use some additional styles in that file, but we're going to use mainly these styles to maintain light mode and dark mode functionality. Then over here we have our use state, so maintain the value, so it's either light or dark mode. Then over here we have the switch position, which just has use shade value to 0, so it has a shade value. Then over here we have this toggle theme, where it basically has where we're using the set theme function. We're saying const new theme equals previous theme. We're checking if it's light, then we switch it to dark, otherwise we keep it as light. Now over here you may ask why we're keeping as light, because if this light is not true, then it's obviously in dark mode. So that's why we want to switch it to light mode. Then over here we also have animation. So now over here we have this other value called switch position, which just has with spring. So now over here with spring is just a spring. It's a function that creates spring based animations. So now over here we're setting new theme to equals dark. Then it's either 20 or 0. So now over here we just returning our context provider. So in there we have our value, which is theme, our toggle theme, the colors. Then also we have our switch position. So then over here we have our use theme function also that we are exporting. So now let's move on to the main topic, which is animations. So go ahead and go to the animations.js file where we have all of the animations. So first we have our inputs. Then over here we're getting the screen's width. So then now we have this loading spinner component. So now over here we have our rotations. So we have the rotation, rotation inner and rotation outer. This rotation over here, this is for the middle one, the inner one, that means the innermost value. So here that means this one, the red one. Then the rotation variable over here, this is for the middle one, and this rotation outer is for the outer one. So now over here we have this use effect, and if you look at the dependency value, it's on load. So whenever it comes, we just start spinning the circle. Over here we have our rotation outer, and we just say with repeat. That means it will repeat forever. Then over here we have with timing. So then over here we have our duration of 3. So over here with timing we pass in our degrees, which is 360. So it should spin a full circle. Then we have the duration 3000 and easing to easing linear. What happens? So you may ask, what happens if we change this to like 1000? So now over here, once we change it to 100, now if you look over here, it's moving very slowly and just jittering. As because over here it's going so fast that you just only see like this. And now once I change it back to 3000, it's spinning like normal. Alright, so now we have the middle spinner over here, which is basically the same thing, but we have changed it to minus 360, so it'll spin anti-clockwise. We'll set the duration to 2000, so it'll spin a little bit faster. Then over here with the inner spinner rotation, so now by logic the inner spinner rotation should be a little bit faster than the middle one, and this middle one should be faster than the outer one. So that's why over here we have the duration as 150, and over here we set it to clockwise rotation. So then over here what we are doing is basically creating an animation style that we can use. Then over here we are returning this view over here, which basically has a bunch of animated views with some styles. So then let's move on to the button component, where over here we have a handle press. So the default one over here is just basically a scale value. Then the bounce one over here is just a translate y, and then the shine one we just say shine dot value. With timing we take the screen's width and we set duration to 100. So over here what you don't see is basically the shine is somewhere over here and it moves incredibly fast. Then over here we see the shine coming over here. So that's what makes it shine, and over here that's why we need the screen's width. Then over here basically, so now let's break some stuff, shall we? So now over here we have the scale value, right? So now let's set the scale value to be something like incredibly low, 0.01. And now let's go to our buttons. Let's click the default button. I forgot to save it, so 0.1. I'll save it, I'll refresh. I'll show buttons, and let's click the default button. And now over here it becomes incredibly small and then comes back. So now we usually just put it at 9.5 or actually 9.0, so that we have some small scale but not that little of a scale where it becomes very ugly. Then we have the bounce effect. So let's try over here. I'll try around 200. Let's save and refresh or reload. I'll show buttons. Then let's bounce the button. So now if you look over here, it bounced over here, and if you look, it has somewhat of a decent gap. And over here when I click it and I want to click it again, it doesn't work. So now this is so because we already clicked the button, it's playing the animation. So now when it comes back we can click it. So I'm going to set it back to its regular, which is 10. Now we should see, I forgot to refresh. Now we should see it be normal again. So now it should be normal. So now over here we have the little bounce effect. So then over here we have the shine. Now you can just change the duration to around, I'll change it to around 750. Let's try that, 750. I'll save and refresh. I'll try shining it. Now it'll go much faster than when we set it at 1000. Now if we set it at 2000, it will go slower. So I'm gonna save and reload. Now it should go slower. So now the shine effect, see, it goes so slow. It's like you're in slow-mo. So now I'm gonna change it back to 1000. So then over here we are obviously just setting it, making it an animation style. So then over here we have where we are returning it. Then this is the animation showcase component. Over here we have our animated buttons. We have the default button, the bounce button, and the shine button, and we have the styles. So we set it to default, bounce, and shine. So then over here we're exporting the theme toggle component, so that we have our theme functionality, and also we have the animated button over here. Then over here we have some styles. So now this is how we do animations. So now let's go to the buttery smooth transition. So now we're getting our inputs over here, then also our screen width, and over here for our transition we have created a translate X, where we use the shared value, and then we give the input as the screen's width, which is a number. Then we have the opacity, which is initially 0, but then it's going to fade out. So if is visible, so if is visible is true, then we have this enter animation over here. We have damping and stiffness. So then over here we have with timing, we set it to 1, and the duration to 300. So now everything, but if is visible is false, then over here we have this else statement where we have with timing as 0 and the duration as 300. So now over here we have is visible. So this is in a use effect. So now over here we said is visible over here, as because if is visible has changed, then we check this again, and if with the enter animation we play the enter animation, else we play the exit animation. Alright, so now over here we have the animated style. Then over here we basically have this animated view where we're just passing in children. Then over here we have just a single style, which is screen. So we have the position as absolute and the height and width as 100%. Then over here we have this app.js file where we basically have this safe area view so that things don't fall out of our app. Then over here we have this view. Then over here we have the theme toggle. Then over here we have our another view, which has our loading screen and our animation showcase, and it's wrapped between the transition, so screen transition and screen transition. Current screen equals loading and current screen equals button. We're setting that. Then over here we have this view over here where we have this animated button which changes it. So that's why we say handles screen change. And if you go over here, this is handle screen change, where we set current screen to current, and if current equals loading, then we set it to buttons, otherwise we set it to loading. Alright, so now over here we have a theme toggle component, which is basically toggles the theme. Then over here we're just exporting our app. We have the theme provider, then our app content. So folks, I hope you understand this app. If you have any doubts, make sure to comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out. So folks, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to support us, please like, share, subscribe to our channel Kavi Web Designs, and keep on watching your videos and show some love. If you want me to create any websites or mobile apps, be sure to call for me and I'll always be there to help. This is Ishank signing off.